Hello, hello. If you want to adjust your weight, if you want to remodel your body, if you want a different body composition, meaning less fat and more muscle, you're at the right place because right now, in a minute, we're going to be doing a hypnosis exercise for you to adjust your body weight. We want you to be at your ideal body weight. So if you're interested in changing your subconscious mind so that you naturally, effortlessly do the kinds of things that need to be done for you to have your ideal body weight, you're at the right place at the right time. Achieving your ideal body, which involves, for most of us, it involves dropping fat and increasing muscle. That process is a little bit tricky because if you simply cut back on calories, it's going to be very, very difficult to actually put on muscle because there's not enough energy there to manufacture the muscle tissue. But if you continue eating enough of a diet to build muscle, then it's almost impossible to lose fat. So you may have already experienced this. We need to find a very happy medium there that allows us to drop fat and gain muscle at the same time. I have a whole course on this. It is possible to do it. There are many people who teach this. It's a lot of science, but we can distill it down to practical suggestions, and it is possible to do it. But the people who come to me for that kind of work, they're not necessarily looking for the science. I take care of that. I've already read what people are really looking for is, how do I actually do what I know I should do? And it boils down to things like, extreme hunger or cravings. Most often we have this problem with cravings, and also, social eating and emotional eating. In other words, by emotional eating, I mean, well, I feel a little sad, so let me have some ice cream. That's an example of emotional eating. From a biochemical point of view, from a weight loss point of view, we know that we shouldn't be having the ice cream, but at that moment, we just feel so bad that the best medicine we can have is a couple of bowls of ice cream, right? So that's an example of emotional eating, and that's where the work that we do with hypnosis comes in to help the person not do the emotional eating. And you can imagine that for someone who's been eating emotionally every day, like after dinner, whatever, they have a bowl of, and they stop doing that, that amounts to a lot of calories. And that alone will change their bodies. But then there's this thing called social eating. Social eating is, you're not really hungry, perhaps you already had dinner, a couple friends of yours call you and say, hey, let's go out and talk. And you go out to talk. Now you're at this restaurant, at a place where they serve food, and everybody else is eating. They say, what do you want to eat? What do you want to drink? And next thing you know, you've ingested another 1,000 calories, but you weren't even hungry. Because it would be rude to say no, that type of thing, right? So we call that social eating. Now, it may not be a part of your lifestyle. Perhaps you don't do a lot of that, but a lot of people do, such as one woman once who came to see me who was 67 pounds overweight, and she lost the weight. It was interesting because she lost so much weight that one day, months after we worked together, I saw her in public, and she came over to me, gave me a big hug. Dr. Flavio, so good to see you. And honestly, I did not even recognize her. She looked so incredibly different. 67 pounds changes you completely, changes your body completely. And what we did is we simply worked on one idea, which was to stop social eating. And we did this by sort of installing a hypnotic suggestion, which made it possible for her to say, no, thank you, but no thanks. So she would be at an event and they would bring up a tray of hors d'oeuvres or whatever the case is, and she, sometimes out of politeness, we pick up one, and that's 100 calories right there, and then another, next thing you know, it adds up, and this person had a very active social life, so it added up to a lot of calories in her case. So what she learned to do, not intellectually, because you can tell a person this, but when it comes down to it, it's what's in our subconscious mind that controls, that dictates what we're going to do. She needed to learn to say thanks but no thanks. By not eating the snacks, by not eating the extra calories, she began to control her blood sugar levels. That led to a different choice in meals. That led to the possibility of exercising. In other words, it's a chain of events that starts with the first step. It starts with the first step. And perhaps for you, the first step would be to be able to say thanks, no thanks, but no thanks, right? To not eat socially. So, as an example, it's not the topic today, but as an example, my daughter's always made fun of me because I don't have the habit of drinking alcohol, for instance, never had since I was young. I was into athletics and I liked to study, so I didn't like to drink. And my daughters one time asked me, but did you go to parties when you were younger in college? And I said, of course I did. My buddies went to parties, I went to parties in high school and college, and to this date, but I still don't drink. And when I was younger, I used to bring my own orange juice to these parties because everybody else would be drinking beer and I would be drinking my orange juice, and they would laugh at that. So you walk in with a bottle, because they wouldn't, typically in those college parties, they wouldn't have anything other than beer available. But I didn't have to drink the beer to fit in. I would be there talking to the guys, everybody would be drunk after a while, and then I would leave. But meanwhile, I would be there enjoying the party and not consuming the alcohol. And the point I'm making is, going back to the idea of food, it is possible to socialize, to be with your friends, to visit your family, and not overeat. So this is what we call social eating, and not engaging in social eating will get you started on your weight loss journey and on your body recomposition program, right? So let's begin doing that. What is going to happen here, you're going to enter the hypnotic state, and you're going to see yourself in a social situation, but it has to be at the level of the subconscious mind, so that when it does happen in physical life, it comes up naturally for you to say thanks but no thanks. You will forego the social food, and as a result of that, long term, you're going to begin adjusting your body weight. All right? Now, I have to say this to you, it's really, really important. We're going to do a hypnosis, a relaxation hypnosis exercise. It is very, very important that you be sitting down. This will only work for you if you're sitting down on a chair in a building. It cannot be the chair of your car, for instance. You cannot be in a car. Some people call me up and say, but what if I'm listening to the meditations? Because I have a bunch of meditations, and say, what if I'm listening and I'm not really getting into the meditation? Can I still listen in the car? And I say no, because that defeats the whole purpose. What you want to do is to get into it. And in order for you to get into it, you're going to be closing your eyes, and that's incompatible with being in a car. So let's be safe, right? Because there's no point in adjusting our weight if we're not safe. We want to last, we want to be happy. So let's be safe. Everything from now on only applies if you're sitting down at a safe place, not operating a car, not operating any machinery. And if you cannot do the exercise right now, that's okay. Turn off the video and then we'll pick it up again later. It's all right. But for those of you who are sitting down safely at home on a chair, take a deep breath and allow your eyelids to naturally relax. There's nothing you need to do. Simply listen to my voice. And as you listen to my voice, imagine that the bottom of your feet are getting really warm. Just imagine that you're barefoot and the floor is getting warmer, comfortably warm, but noticeably warm. And you're stepping on this floor with no shoes or socks on, and you begin to feel the heat. It is comfortable and yet noticeable. You notice the heat coming from the floor, and the bottom of your feet are getting nice and warm, and you begin to enjoy the sensation of warmth at the very bottom of your feet. Listen to my voice and sleep. Relax. Allow yourself to go into a deep state of relaxation so that you may achieve your goals, because your goals are noble. And you imagine yourself, keep on imagining the floor, the hot floor, and it's very, very comfortable. You are at a social event, whether it's a party, a social engagement, and somebody offers you food. You've already eaten, you're plenty fed, you're fed already. You do not need any extra calories, and you know that. It's still awesome to socialize and talk to people, but the food has nothing to do with it. And so when somebody offers you the food out of politeness, out of graciousness, you simply look at them and you smile and you say, thank you, but no thank you. And you pass. And every time you do that and you say thank you, but no thank you, watch how warm your feet are. Every time you enjoy saying thank you, but no thank you, it makes you stronger, better. And you know that you're well on your way to the body of your dreams. Because a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, and this is perhaps the first step for you to stop the social eating. Yeah, but they offered it to me. I thought it would be rude not to accept it. Oh, you would be rude not to thank them. And so you smile, you look at them in the eye, and you say thank you, but no thank you. And when you say no thank you, you're pretty firm. So it's pretty final. Thank you so much for offering it, but no thank you. It's pretty final. What you notice is that you become stronger and stronger, and next thing you know, there will be no more emotional eating either. Yeah, you might have some pretty difficult emotions going on in your life. Perhaps you feel sad, depressed, anxious, whatever the case might be. And perhaps in the past, you resorted to some food to soothe your emotions. But from now on, because you've been able to stop the social eating, because you've been able to say thank you, but no thank you, you can say the same thing to the food when your emotions call for it. You can say, yes, I know that perhaps it would soothe me temporarily, but at a very high cost because it would deform my body in the future. And so I'm going to thank you for offering itself, offering the opportunity to change my emotions right now, but no thank you. I'm not interested in paying that price. I'm going to deal with my emotions for what they are. And you're going to relax a little, and you're going to say to yourself, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. You're going to repeat that phrase 3 different times, and you're going to notice that your emotions begin to calm down, and you can go do something else without having to eat. And so, as you begin to now come back and open your eyes, you feel proud of yourself, because from now on, there's no more need to eat only to be sociable, and there's no more need to eat only to quell our emotions. We can deal with emotions and we can socialize, but it doesn't have to have anything to do with food. Food for you, for us, from now on, will only be sort of a medicine to cure true hunger, if you will. So by that I mean in the appropriate and moderate amounts, the right kind of food at the right time, in the right dosages, as though it were a medicine, a prescription. And you're going to notice that as you begin to eat, as though food is a medicine, the right time, the right dosage, the right type, you're going to notice that your body begins to adjust and adjust and adjust, and your level of happiness begins to increase. Your joy becomes exuberant. Wow, this is awesome. I'm so happy for you. If you get value out of these meditations, please consider subscribing to the channel and perhaps even sharing the video with your friends, because you're going to notice that the secret to success in any area of life is sharing. Thank you so much, and every Tuesday we publish content regarding weight loss, body remodeling, fat loss, muscle gain, everything related to the body and health and so forth. So looking forward to seeing you soon. Thank you and blessings.